All right, a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to Night Moves here for Sunday, February 15th. And we've got him. We've got Stacks with us in the middle of the night, in the early morning. I'm sorry, Justin, in the early morning hours, not the middle. It's the middle of the night for me and not for you. Over there. Great to see you again, my friend. Miss you, and so happy you're able to join me here. Talk. I'm sorry I don't have more sports for you to talk about here, getting together with you.
Yeah, I wish there was a better slate for my Night Moves debut, but we've been talking for a couple of days now, trying to make this happen. And then with my got a new phone, new everything. So, but we made it happen. And when I seen the slate, I was like, wow. I picked the wrong day to make my debut, but we're going to work it out.
Yeah, we're just looking at a few games here for the Sunday schedule. I don't know if you watched, Justin, any of the games on Saturday. We had some great game. Arizona lost. I don't know if you caught that. Arizona lost their second in a row. Texas Tech went on the road and beat them there last night. We had some fisticuffs. Did you see the St. John's Providence game? They wanted to throw down.
Oh, they really did. Yeah, that Arizona Texas Tech game. That's funny that's the first game that you mentioned out of like 132 games yesterday. Like as far as Tony's, I've been on like on the last 30 days. I've been on like top 5, found some back and forth, but I ain't gonna lie, I got crushed yesterday. So Texas Tech was like probably one of my few winners yesterday, and it wasn't even on the site. It was just a bet. So.
Yeah, well, no doubt. I mean, Pete left that game there. That had to be a little bit of a factor too. But I mean, this Texas Tech team, you kind of look at them as kind of a team that you might to be able to ride a little bit with if they get going maybe in the postseason a little bit. I don't know if I have any questions about Arizona still, but JT Toppin, he looks like a shadow out there. He looks good for Tech. Arizona led that game, late in the game, and they came roaring back.
Yeah, it definitely was. I don't know. I've been liking Toppin though. I've been liking Toppin for years now. It seems like I've been watching him way longer than I have. But Pete going down definitely was the reason they lost. Now I don't know. I don't think they was going to cover, but that's the reason why they lost.
Hello to everyone in the chat. We're so happy you're here. Andre saying, what's going on, Stacks, tonight? And great to have you guys join us, the chat pros. We got 4 games or so lined up. It's not a big college card and not a lot of great blockbuster matchups, and the NBA All-Star game as well on Sunday. We saw the slam dunk. Just a lot of people making fun of it last night. I don't think you caught it, but Mac McClung thinks he's an NBA player now, so he not boycotted the game. He showed on social media which dunks he would have done. I'll tell you what, if you're Max McClung, you're missing the boat. You should be winning that slam dunk every year. Do you want a legacy? What do you think? You're going to go in there and be an NBA All-Star? I mean, you're barely hanging out. Go in there, win the slam dunk every year. I just make the point because it was, again, a bit of a disappointment, Justin, at the slam dunk on Saturday night. Although Keshad Johnson of Miami won, even though Carter Bryant of the Spurs turned in the only perfect 50 of the night. They just lacked the creativity to do even 2 dunks there. So Team Knicks, you'll like that. They won the Shooting Stars competition last night. And also, I touted it last night, Justin, Dame Time. He won the 3-point, even though he hadn't played all season. He won the 3-point shootout there last night. He was 6-1. Con Kneppel, he did pretty well. He made it there to the final round, but then it came down to Lillard and Book. And Book was hot and then he missed his last 3 shots or so, and Dame Time won for the 3rd time. I said last night, I said, why wouldn't you take Dame Time here, one for old time's sake? He hasn't played all year, and this is a chance to shine, unlike Mac McClung.
Yeah, I was in the chat yesterday because I was gonna make my debut yesterday, and now hindsight, I'm glad I didn't. I'd embarrassed myself if I'd came on here yesterday. So I'm glad I didn't make my night moves debut yesterday. But I heard you say that yesterday and I don't watch the All-Star games. I don't watch the dunk contest. Just not interesting. It's not entertainment to me. Yeah. I think every year they just keep changing things, and I don't know. They just took me out. I just can't do it. But I remember you saying that, and then when I woke up this morning and see he won, I'm like, damn, I done left that little 6-1 on the table. Only because I don't get involved, but 6-1 on Dame, I should at least do something, at least got a little pizza or something. You know how you like pizza.
Hey, you know what else I hit, Justin, on this show last night was I said take the Brazilian to win the giant slalom in alpine skiing at 6-1. South America had never won a medal at the Winter Olympics, but this man, I'm not a total alpine skiing giant slalom expert. I just, kind of was reading about it, and this guy had a big chance, and he won it from Brazil at 6-1. So tonight will be the NBA All-Star game. We're not going to talk too much about it because we're going to talk some college basketball, some games that mean something, but we'll just mention it here real quick. And I think you got it right, Justin. I watched tonight also the Unrivaled program with the women, and they were playing a one-on-one tournament tonight. It came down to Chelsea Gray and Alicia Gray. Chelsea Gray won. They played for 3 consecutive nights. That's what the NBA needs to do, have a one-on-one tournament on All-Star Weekend. I bet that would even though a lot of people were saying that 3-point contest with Dame was one of the best they've seen because, yeah, you didn't have Curry, but everyone kind of lit it up. They actually did a very good job. But I'd play the one-on-one, or maybe they could do like, the women have a 3-on-3 league. Maybe the NBA could do a little 3-on-3 basketball a little bit because a lot of people are just complaining it's not working. I agree with you. I'm not really that interested tonight in the NBA All-Star. I watch it because that's my job. But you have a 3-team round robin tonight with Team Stars and Stripes, or Team Stripes, Team Stars, and Team World. A lot of people say that Team Stripes, that's the old heads, as KD would say, and Team Stars, that's the young up-and-comers. And then you have Team World. And a lot of people saying, I like Team World, but a lot of people are saying that they're all on minutes restrictions here. So they might, to me, they have the best roster. But a lot of people say it's minutes restrictions. And that was controversial today at the press conference with the commissioner as he tried to address the tanking allegations. And he says nothing is off the table. We could even penalize draft picks because it's been such a big deal. And they fined Utah this week, $500,000. Another team got fined $100,000. So I think the commissioner's fed up.
It's just sad what the Jazz is doing. Mainly the Jazz, like, there's other ones, but they're like the top of my list.
But you got to bet, Justin. They're covering. I mean, they're putting the other guys in there, and but again, they're getting more and more points, I guess, too, right?
Right, but covering is not part of tanking. You could cover and still be tanking. Like I think they was playing. Who was it? Like Orlando. They was up big and yanked everybody in the third quarter, like the end of the third quarter. So it's like.
For all the games that they have kind of covered, they were on a 6-game cover streak, but they've gotten blown out by, double the spread just as many times, it seems like, this season, too, because they don't have, all their complement of players. So they're trying to fix that. I don't know what the commissioners are going to do, but that's the NBA All-Star game tonight. I think the team Stripes are the favorite there for the little tournament. That like I said, the old heads I think are actually favored in it, Justin, if you wanted to call them that, and to win the little tournament. It's basically a 3-team. Each team plays each other twice, and then the 2 best records. The World is actually pretty much an even choice. They're plus 150. The old heads are plus 165, and the young stars, I'll call them, are plus 220. So I'll be checking it out. And, you could vote for MVP as well. That might be something that's attractive because you've got Wembanyama 3-1. He's such an odds-on favorite that next up is Jaylen Brown at 11-1, Devin Booker 13-1, KD 13-1, Maxey 13-1. Ant is 14-1, Cunningham 14-1, Brunson 16-1, Spider 18-1, Cat 18-1, LeBron's 18-1, Jamal Murray's 20-1. That might be where I could go right there. Again, if they got these guys talking about Jokic on a minutes restriction there, he's a long shot to win the MVP at 40-1. So he's not going to play that much. So. All right. Well, I just want to mention the big All-Star game. It's still, I'd go back. I want Eastern Conference, Western Conference, but maybe I'm an old head too.
No, that's my whole problem. Like, why is it not East and West? Like, I don't get that.
I thought basketball was one of the, the All-Star game kind of meant something, and especially when you look at the NBA Finals later, which teams are better and which teams are not from that particular conference. So. Andre's here. He's got some plays in there. I don't know what he's got. He must be talking about for some of the games last night. Shelton in tennis. Going to be a great match tomorrow in Dallas, Justin, with Shelton and Fritz tomorrow. In fact, before we get started, let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at handicappers and see what we got going over at Tony's Picks here, because I just mentioned it because I've got that match actually, Justin, as one of my featured plays tomorrow. We can take a look at what's going on. I've got Justin here, so let's go to Justin's page and get it rolling here on our show. There we go, Justin. Take a look there. There's our man having a great year so far. I know we're having both of us coming off a rough day, but we'll pick it up here. You're up a dime over the last 30 days. You got some great, let me see here. That's actually, let me get it right here with Justin. There we go. Up a dime there. And there's some of your strong records. Still been killing it in basketball, hockey, and such. So tell us what's going on at Tony's tomorrow with this college card. Then we'll get to some previews.
Yeah. As of right now, I don't have absolutely nothing up there. Like I said, up until yesterday, I ain't gonna say I was rolling, but I've been doing all right on the site. As you can see, everything's documented. And yesterday, I just hit a wall. I think just on the site alone, I know I got reverse swept. I think I was like 0 for 4 yesterday. Like, and none of them was close. It wasn't even like usually when you lose, you can say I got hooked, or it was just a horrible cap on my part in all 4 games. And I own it. So, like I said, when things like that happen, I don't get upset no more. But it just makes me focus. I don't got nothing up yet. I wanted to really dig in after that bath I took yesterday. So, and then I really wanted to make my debut coming off that beating I took. Like, that's just the way I like to shake it off. Like, so I'll probably have I don't really like today say I'll probably have like 1 or 2 premiums up on the college. Definitely 1, but probably 2.
Yeah, it's a little thicker Sunday card here. We'll go over some games in just a moment. Check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Check out Justin there. Why not hook up for 3 days for $99 over there at Tony's Picks? Get Justin's premium plays. I can vouch for him. He's been on a roll. If you watched the show over the last couple of weeks, we've been touting Stacks' record here and take a look. Let's go over at least the winners, give them their just due tonight over at Tony'sPicks.com. See who was hot here. Brian Bittler 3-0 there. Damian Shosh 3-0. There's Ron Crawford 6-3. Mills went 2-0. Rod 7-5 day. David Racy had a heavy day there, but came out in the green. Ron Hahn and Double Shooty in the green there last 7 days. There's Ron. Looking good there, Ron. 60%, over 8.25 units there. Brian Bittler also up there. Nick Lagaretto, 60%. I'm up there, up 3 3/4 units over the last 7 days. Double Shitty is up there as well. Shane Mickle and McMills is in the green. And you see over the last month, Steve wants that hockey to come back. He's had a good run here over the last 30 days. Joey Tron in that group as well. And get to our previews there. There's Justin there, ready to get his move back here for the year, but you see some of his winnings over there at Tony'sPicks.com. Click on the All Cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice, click on the handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. See some of my numbers there, also pretty good, Justin. I've got that Dallas final as my discount best bet tomorrow. Should be an awesome match between two Americans in Dallas on the hard courts with Taylor Fritz and Ben Shelton. Even matchup. I always pick the closest matchups right here at Tony's Picks. All right. Let's go to our previews here now, Justin. We'll take a look at the action for Sunday in college basketball here. This is where we're at right now with hockey over there at the Olympics. USA is in action tomorrow against Germany. Canada plays France as the men get ready to start to wind down group play, hopefully heading for that collision. But we saw some upsets there last night as well at the Olympic Games. All right. Thanks to everyone in the chat. We welcome your comments here as we preview these games coming up. Justin, let's go.
How you been doing on the Olympics?
Oh, man, I tell you, we hit that 6-1 shot there with that Brazilian giant slalom. Also, I did come up with a 120 favorite. I went with the American there, Jordan Stolz, in the speed skating. He was a big favorite. He looked good there yesterday. And I talked about the men's large hill ski jumping yesterday, Justin, and all I could do was get on a $2 favorite there in that one. So we did have some good winners there. I might have taken some long shots too yesterday. I was talking about a couple of biathletes that take them at 8-1. Those are people who ski and shoot guns, by the way, in the chat. No funny jokes there in the biathlon competition. And also in women's dual moguls, the favorite lost. I was going with the favorite, I think, there yesterday. So it's been pretty good, and the hockey's been pretty fun as well, Justin. Although, like I said, there were some upsets yesterday. Latvia upset Germany yesterday. And how about this one? The U.S. beat Denmark 6-3. I don't think they covered the puck line, though, Justin. I think they were mostly favored by 4. It did go well over 6.5. And in the big women's games, Canada beat Germany to go to the semifinals, and it was 5-1 there in that one. And Switzerland upset Finland 1-0. They were the puck line underdog by 1.5 goals. So exciting Olympics action still to come tonight here in the middle of the night, including women's giant slalom with American Schifrin in there, but she's 8-1 in this one. If you want to root for an American at 8-1, a legend, it's probably gone by her. Giant slalom, not her best nowadays, but she is 8-1, and so is the other American, Moltzen. There's some gold medal events. Okay, Justin, let's go to the action here in the Big Ten tonight with Indiana taking on Illinois here in this one. Look, these two are mired in the middle of the standings right now in the Big Ten, but still pretty good game for this card for sure. And it is, after all, Illinois 2 games back of Michigan after Michigan was able to put it down there yesterday once again. But, you got to give Illinois still an outside shot, and they're going to be a menace certainly in the postseason with this offense. But here comes Indiana in here looking for an upset. Illinois, a double-digit favorite here.
Yeah, when I looked at this game, I just thought this spread was kind of wide. Like, I wasn't understanding double digits. I mean, Illinois, they're coming off a back-to-back. I'm pretty sure they're coming off back-to-back overtime wins or overtime losses. My fault. So off of Wisconsin and Michigan State, I think it was. So coming off them overtimes back-to-back, one of them I think was double overtime. I could be mistaken. I don't got all my notes with me, but I like Indiana here. Indiana just came off a double-digit win, and they got blown out last year. So if nothing else, I don't think they're going to win outright, but I think they're going to keep this game inside this number. Probably lose, like around 4 or 5, but 100% I'm going to be on Indiana. I ain't bet it yet. I just wanted to do a little bit more deep diving into it, but I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know if Illinois, if they had some injuries. I don't know if their guys is coming back or not, and that's why this line is so spread. But they beat them by double digits last year, and this is not the same Illinois team. So I just can't see a double-digit win like 11? No, give me Indiana.
Yeah, Stojakovic, he's questionable here with an ankle injury coming in. Boswell's questionable for Illinois here as well. Those are kind of the two short-term injuries you're talking about. And Stojakovic, we know he's a big impact player, but still this Illinois team 20-5 overall. They do come in here 10-7 against the spread as a favorite. They are just 1-4 against the spread their last 5 games at home against the Hoosiers. Hoosiers have covered 5 of their last 7, but lost 6 of the last 3. You mentioned the win there last year by Illinois in a rout, like you said there. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and I'm going to go under here with these two at 151. Indiana is 2-4 to the under as a dog here. I'm going to take the under in these two. I know Illinois has got a really souped up offense right now, and I think that's what a lot of people are focused on with this team's chances here for the postseason. They've obviously been pretty strong of late, but hey, Indiana's been pretty hot too with wins over Oregon and Wisconsin at home. They blew out Oregon there last time out, Justin. Yeah, they did lose to USC on the road, but before that, beat UCLA on that trip out to the West Coast, and they do have a home win as a dog against Purdue. So Indiana continues to play well, and yeah, Illinois not only lost those overtime games, but they were favored the game against Wisconsin by nearly double digits. So, all right, let's see if anybody's saying anything in the chat about this one. And let's see here. I think Cal Dog may be taking the under in this game. Also, Andre says Indiana in the points. Any points there. Illinois wins but does not cover. And maybe a 7 or 8 point loss in there. Jimmy says if I'm on the under here, and Andre on the under as well. All right. Great job in the chat. Let's go to all right, this one's pretty important here in the standings right now with Oakland taking on Robert Morris here in this one, Justin. And, Robert Morris here favored by 1.5 coming into this one. Oakland is 10-5 right now, 1 game back of first place Wright State. Now, Wright State does play Cleveland State. They should win that game, even though they are on the road. Cleveland State is 6-9 in conference play. And as far as Robert Morris is concerned, they're 9-7, so they're still breathing in the conference standings here. They'd probably have to win out here, but hey, this is an important game for both teams right now, particularly for Oakland, but it's closely rated.
Yeah, I like these kind of games, and especially Robert Morris. Anyone who's not know, this is out here where I live. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I'm like maybe 15, 20 minutes away, probably like 20 minutes away from Robert Morris. And at first, when I seen it yesterday, I wanted to go to this game. And then like I said, I took a bath yesterday. So now I don't just going to lay around and do nothing today at Cat Sports. So I'm not going to this game. This Robert Morris team, like last year, that was the Cinderella Robert Morris. And I was going to all their games, they're rising, and they're cheap, tickets is low. So I love watching Robert Morris. Oakland, I think Oakland is a really good team, but they're coming off back-to-back losses. They drilled this Robert Morris team earlier in the season, and I don't say it often because I just don't believe, but I'm not understanding why Robert Morris is favored. I mean, I know they're home, but they're not the better team, and their home court environment. I've been there. I've probably seen in the last 3 years, probably 20, 25 Robert Morris games. Their home court advantage is not overwhelming to a point where they should be favored. So I'm gonna take Oakland. I'll take the spread. Something that DeAndre always say. You're gonna give me the points. I'm taking them.
Yeah, going with Oakland here says Justin in the matchup against Robert Morris here on Sunday. Like I said, big for both teams. Oakland still has a better chance at winning this title here right now, given the current standings in the horizon. Like I said, Oakland just 1 game back of Wright. Green Bay is in third place with a 10-6 record. Brody Robinson's been pretty good for Oakland this year. He's probably, I would think, the best player on the court here in this one. I just know that you probably know this, Justin, that a lot of these games, look, this is 156, and I think it's because they're playing Oakland, right? And yes, look, Oakland's 15-10 to the over. Robert Morris is 14-11 to the over, and Robert Morris is just 5-6 to the under at home. But look, I know they're playing Oakland, but Robert Morris games never go this high. I mean, they rarely score into the 150s at home, in my experience with this team. Now, maybe it is a little bit different here right now. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over, so maybe that's why it's high here. And like I said, Oakland's a team that kind of is a team that does the scoring here. So they met back in January. It was 96-73 at Oakland. Oakland was a 2-point favorite, but I'm going to take another under here, actually, because I just don't think Robert Morris plays high-scoring games at home, even if you've got Oakland coming in here as the opponent. I mean, I guess if Oakland wins, Justin, and you're kind of calling for them, maybe they will run them here and make it a high-scoring game. I think the only way Robert Morris has a chance is to keep it low, so I'm still going to take the under. Justin likes Oakland here. Let's see what the chat said in this one. And Cal Dog, I think, is on one. Oh, no, let me go back. I got Andre here, I think. Hello to Old Gapper in the chat as well today. Let's see. He said hello to Justin as well. Cal Dog is on. Robert Morris here. And let's see here. Andre says going to take the points and the money line. Wrong. I think he means wrong favorite there. Andre,
no, I mean, he's saying wrong team favorite.
Yeah, wrong team. Yeah, probably talking into his phone. I'm like, wrong time.
Yeah, wrong team favorite.
Wrong time favorite. That's what I'm talking. Okay. Let's see here. Cal Dog says Oakland smash Robert Morris in that game. Yeah, that's for sure. In that one, yeah. And let's see, Cal Dog like the over. And hello also to Dimitri Mamo. There, he was talking about that Indiana game in there, and Timmy's. I've got another under, so Timmy, just take note. I'm going with some unders here on Sunday. All right,
I'm gonna write that one down because you're right. This Robert Morris team, they don't play fast at all, especially at home.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it is Oakland. I think that kind of is the team that is going to be the if there is a pace to be pushed, I guess is the only way that I can put it. There, and I see some guys talking in the chat about the FA Cup tomorrow, whittling it down here to the final 16 there. Some great matches tomorrow, including Wigan and Arsenal. You guys are talking about it in the chat there. Hello to M the Great as well. Other close matches tomorrow, Leeds and Birmingham City as well. So 5 great games in the FA Cup. All right. Let's keep it moving here right now, and we're going to grab a couple of more games, and then we'll have a great Sunday. All right, South Florida and Florida Atlantic. I got to cover these two, Justin. Obviously, given the situation right now with these two teams, you got South Florida here in the thick of things. Yeah, Florida Atlantic had their moments. I started talking Florida Atlantic up about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And they've pretty much been in El Foldo since then, Justin. The thing that I was talking about is that I thought Florida Atlantic, to me, they're one of the youngest teams in the country with some great talent. I think we're eventually going to get another kind of Florida Atlantic team that we saw, a couple years ago. I thought it was going to be right here, right now, but apparently it's not. South Florida comes in first place, 9-3 right now. Florida Atlantic just 6-6, but South Florida has a 1.5 game lead over Temple right now in the standings, and they're on the road, and Florida Atlantic is no slouch. I just they just didn't get it going like I thought they would, and this losing streak, Justin, was right after the fact that I said, watch out for Florida Atlantic. They're going to be hot. Now they've I think they've lost every game since then. They've lost 5 straight. They're 1-5 ATS in their last 6.
Yeah, that's funny because I think I don't know if I was in the chat or caught the afterplay or the rewatch. I remember you saying that about it. But one thing that you did say, this team is extremely young. I think when maybe next year after they get some chemistry, get a whole season under their belt, get some returning starters, that's when they'll be good. I think they'll be all right next year for the bounce back. But like you said, they got 5 straight losses. I'm not catching the phone now. Usually home dogs is where I want to be. I love a home dog, especially in conference play. But I can't get there with this Florida Atlantic team. I'll trust South Florida to run away with this.
All right, taking the Bulls here. Now, Florida
Yeah, they beat
Atlantic.
them earlier in the season. So, I mean, I
Yeah,
used to, like a lot of times, but it depends. Like, it can't be for a team that suck. Like, I think Florida Atlantic, I think they suck. And South Florida beat them earlier when they was at the crib. Now I think they're going to beat them on the road again.
yeah, they beat them by 14 as a 5.5-point favorite. Florida Atlantic is 9-3 ATS at home. That is a standout statistic here, but Justin's still saying South Florida here. They've won 14 of the last 18 meetings between these two teams. 6 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone under here. Florida Atlantic's kind of been going under here of late. This is still a pretty big number here, and I talk about Florida Atlantic as a team that should play better defense, and I think that that's probably what they're not doing here right now. They are not even mid-pack defensively here, and when you're going up against a team like South Florida, that's nearly a top 10 team in scoring here, Justin, man, my algorithm over here is kind of calling for an under, but I don't know if I could do it with this South Florida team. Now, they might hold down Florida Atlantic here in this one with this big total. So I'm going over here, though, with these two because South Florida puts up such big numbers here. I'm going to try the over in this one. All right. Anybody in the chat, did they comment here with these two? And
that's where it's at, 165, because it must be going up. I thought I seen 163 earlier before we started.
Okay, well,
but it was like way early. It was like might be like 1:32 o'clock, like 2 hours ago.
No, I typed these in a while ago. So yeah, 165.5. Oh my goodness, 166.5 at some.
Oh yeah, so it's moving up.
Square beats offshore. So yeah, you could see it. I mean, the steam kind of came rolling in there, I think, and you know how I am. I can't turn down a good strong overnight move. All right, USF for Andre. Jimmy Chushu says take FAU. Mr. Wesker's FAU money line will be. He likes FAU. We got some FAU support in here.
Home dog. I usually love a home dog, but it just can't be Florida Atlantic. Like they got to show me something first.
Yeah, these guys are leaning under here a little bit, but look, you've got a team here on USF, and they'll own the boards too, I think, in this game. So okay. I'll take the over. Justin's on the Bulls. Let's go one more here tonight. It's a good one, a real good one here. This one basically is for first place right now. So you got Belmont on the road. They're in first place, doing a great job here. But they are a 1.5-point dog here, Justin, in this one right now. So look, Belmont's had this great record all year. We know the racers, every year or two, they come up and bite you a little bit. And we know that they can get something even going if they can make the tournament as well. We've seen success from this program. Belmont's been, pretty outstanding here over the last few years right now. And this is probably even better than what we've seen from them lately. So what do you think here? Belmont, both teams are pretty hot right now, but Belmont's coming in off of a win over Northern Iowa. They did lose to Bradley in a bit of an upset, but Murray here off of a win over Indiana State. They lost at home to Northern Iowa.
The fact that they did have a recent home law is what really makes me nervous, but I want the better team, and the better team is Belmont. Excuse me. Like you said, they just beat Northern Iowa, and I was on Northern Iowa for a premium that game, and I covered by the hook. I was getting 5.5, and Belmont beat them by 5. And the whole game was a sweat. I felt like I was on the wrong side, fading Belmont. And I told myself, I'm not going to do that again. I'll be on Belmont. I just want to dig into it right now. It's a lane, but I'm 90% sure I'm going to be on Belmont here. It's just that Murray State, the line is telling me that it's a Murray State side because they're not the better team, but they're at home. But how much is their home court worth? So I'm going to be on Belmont. For me, it's Belmont or nothing, but I can hear every side, but I ain't fading Belmont. I got away last game. They still won, but they just didn't cover. Some people, depending on the line you got, because I got 5.5. So I don't know if it dropped or not, but I like this Belmont team. I think they're going to yeah, give me Belmont.
Yeah, Belmont won the meeting back in January 103-86 as a 3.5-point favorite at home. They really smashed them there in that one. This is another one where the totals kind of crept up, but now it's back down to 167. I mean, Belmont's the team that brings the offense here. I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, they are 8-2 to the over in their last 10 games overall, and they've gone over in 5 of their last 6. This one from the archives here, though, Justin. Murray State has only played in their last 63 home games. Only 4 of them have ever had more than 168 points. That's out of their last 63 home games. 59 of them have been under 168 points. Now, that's not to say that it didn't go over in some of those games, because I'm just talking about this being a high-scoring total, really, is all that reflects here because of Belmont and maybe what they meant here, with this offense coming in. And, Murray, they are 9-11 to the under as a favorite, 15-12 to the over overall. And that first game did go for 189. So I guess there's that, but I'm going to try the under here with that stat.
I think you're going to be on the right side because for me in college, mainly in college, I think mainly the home team dictates the pace. And Belmont, they play fast. So when they was at home, that's why I think why that score was so high. With Murray being home, they know they're going to have to try to slow Belmont down if they got any chance of winning. So, and then the fact with the stat that you just gave, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to look into this. Only 4 over this number?
Over this particular number, not that they've gone,
No, I'm saying over this particular number.
Yeah, and that's just a reflection because usually when Murray State's playing other teams, especially, other teams from, the Missouri Valley, it's a lot of times they're going to be lower scoring anyways because you've got them playing less potent teams. I mean, there's no doubt that Belmont's probably probably at least a top 50 offense in the country. It's not like they're totally overwhelming. Now they have owned this series. Belmont has covered 5 straight meetings between these two teams, but Murray is 12-2 at home in the last, or 11-2 this season at home. Here, this is only the 3rd time Belmont's been an underdog this season. They did win and cover both other times that they were an underdog here this season. Lately, they've been favored in these last several games. Like I said, they lost that game to Bradley on the road. Bradley's not turning out to be, a typical Bradley team right now. 10-5 in conference. They're in 3rd place. So I mentioned the standings, Justin. They're Murray trails by 2 games, so they've pretty much got to win this one. It feels like here as we get down to the end of the season here and get ready for the conference tournaments here. Unfortunately for these two, I think we're looking at a 1-bid league. So good luck to Belmont and Murray and maybe Bradley in the conference tournament here. Get your number 1 seed if you can. I get a 1 or 2 seed if you can for Belmont and Murray. I'll take the under. Justin's on Belmont. Anybody in the chat here on this last one? And then we'll get on out of here. Justin, thank you for coming tonight, and head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and check out Justin and I with our premium picks. Here we go. We got Andre here he's on Belmont there. Hello to Ron Jeff in the chat, bringing it here with the night moves. And let's see, Murray State lost to Northern Iowa. Yeah, they lost. That was their loss 2 games back. They did bounce back to beat Indiana State on the road, but they didn't cover in that one either. And I think that's one thing. Murray State is just 2-7 against the spread in their last 9 games overall.
And Indiana State sucked, so that don't count. They don't get no merit for beating Indiana State.
Oh yeah, Indiana State hanging out there at the bottom with Evansville this season. So, all right. All right, gang. Appreciate you guys coming by here for tonight's edition of Night Moves. Thanks, Stax McKelvey, here for joining me. We'll get them on now that we've got our equipment working here. We'll be joined by Stax here more frequently on Night Moves and keep me from having to talk for 2 hours straight about nothing.
Oh no, maybe one of these days we'll try to get all three of us on here. Me, you, and the homie DeAndre.
Okay, yeah, well, we can do that too. You know what I was going to show here, Justin? Let me get one quick. I've got some picks here for the Daytona 500. How's that? Do you want some Daytona picks here?
Yeah, I'll listen to them. I don't watch it, but I'm definitely here for it.
Here. Here's my picks for the Daytona 500 tomorrow. These are kind of value plays, Justin. There's some drivers that have better odds than this, but I like William Byron here at 16-1, Chris Buescher at 22-1, Ross Chastain at 30-1, Ty Dillon at 45-1 here, and Justin Allgaier at 50-1. I just mentioned these guys, Justin. Look, there's some favorites here with the race tomorrow that are a little bit lower price than this. The favorite, of course, here is Kyle Busch. He's on the pole, but he hasn't won here in 20 straight races. He's 10-1, and the pole sitter hasn't won here at Daytona, at the Daytona 500 in about 20 years. Of course, the race is a restrictor plate race, so they race in 4 different stages. So you can also bet some of these to win separate stages, or if you like them, maybe in a top 5, top 10, maybe in a heads-up matchup there with an equal or like driver. These are my favorite plays on the card. Doesn't mean to say that there are not some other great drivers in here. Logano 11-1, Blaney 11-1, Hamlin 12-1, Chase Elliott 14-1, all ahead of my guy here that I have on top, William Byron. He's up there with Austin Cindric and Kyle Larson 18-1, and then my other plays are kind of in those different groups. So I hope you enjoyed that. All right. Thanks a lot, Justin. We'll catch you again here on Night Moves, and thanks to everyone in the chat here for joining us tonight. Really appreciate you guys here at Tony's Picks and the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe here tonight. So, all right, Justin, anything before we get out of here with the action at Tony's or anything else tonight? Thanks to the chat, everybody.
Just happy that, everyone came in and finally made my debut. We've been trying to get it linked together for the last few days, almost a week now. So now we back on it. We're going to be back on it. So you find us at Tony's. You already said it. Catch us at Tony's. Check out, get 15% off, all that. And I'm going to be on there a lot more often. That's my word. So we're going to get it together. Night Moves.
All right, yep. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15%. Let's have a better day, Justin. Let's talk about the winners.
Yeah, bounce back.
Monday, yep. Let's do it. Thanks to everyone once again in the chat for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us. So long from Night Move.
Night Move.